With the COVID-19 global pandemic, one of the great emotions that so many people are feeling is grief. Grief is actually a natural response that we all have due to loss. And this can be loss of family and friends through death, or just they're getting sick and we feel at a great loss, not being able to see them or being near to them. But this can also mean loss of job, loss of meaning in life. So I'd like to share with you today some of the Capacitar practices that can help manage the feelings of grief. Grief, especially overwhelming grief, can lead to both physical and emotional symptoms. Some of the physical symptoms include loss of appetite, insomnia, also just feeling that tightness in our chest, which is always the sign of grief. Emotional states, too, connected with grief include depression, feelings of numbness, feelings of just helplessness, as well as suicidal tendencies in some people. So it's important to learn how to move those emotional and physical energies that we all get within us so that we don't feel overwhelmed and victim of our grief. The first practice that is a favorite of so many people, the finger holes. And the theory behind it is through each finger runs a channel or a meridian of energy. And each of these channels of energy is connected with a system of organs as well as emotional states. The thumb is the finger that is connected with tears, sadness, grief, emotional pain. So in moments of grief or overwhelming feelings of loss, holding the thumb, it doesn't change reality, but we're able to breathe deeply and imagine you can breathe out these strong feelings, that grief, those tears. Holding the finger for a minute or two, gradually we begin to feel more peaceful and can let go of that grief. Often when we're grieving, one of the strong feelings that we have is anger and denial. So holding the middle finger, breathing deeply, recognizing that we are angry because of the loss of job or the loss of a loved one. And this can also help us manage emotions. Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, a number of years ago, talked about the different stages of grief. And these are all part of the natural process of healing when we have a great loss. Usually, one of the first stages is denial. We go into this feeling that it will all change. This person won't die. I won't die. A second stage would be anger and rage, and also just not being able to let go. And then gradually, over a period of time, our feelings become more peaceful and we're able to accept and transform grief into deep wisdom for our lives. Capacitar also teaches a number of acupressure points that can be very helpful when we are grieving. And at that time, what's important is to open our heart. Don't be afraid to feel the pain, but also nourish our hearts so we can see the pain transforming into wisdom that we all learn through grieving loss. So taking your fingers, holding the center of the chest, the center of the breastbone or sternum. This is a point that has the beautiful name Sea of Tranquility. So closing your eyes, breathing deeply, imagining that you can breathe in and drop down into a safe place, deep within your heart, deep within your body. And as you exhale, just imagine all of the strong feelings of grief and sadness. You can slowly breathe out. So you can see grief and the pain that you're feeling as a very real thing, but it no longer overwhelms you. You no longer are a victim of those feelings. And you can transform those feelings into a deep sense of peace, inner peace. And then just gradually release your hands. In the chest area also, there are a number of points connected with grief. The first 2 points you can find just next to the arm joint. And an easy way to find it is to cross your arms and then just feel around for 2 sensitive areas on the inside part of the arm joint. These points are called lung 1. And whenever we are grieving or feel deep sadness or tears, that energy collects in our heart, chest area, or our lungs area. So the lung 1 points held breathing deeply and breathing out that sense of grief can help alleviate that tightness in the chest. We can also just gently tap those points as a way to self-soothe or calm ourselves when the grief gets overwhelming. There are also 2 acupressure points if you find your clavicles and then just move your fingers halfway down the chest. Feel around for 2 points very, very sensitive above the breasts. And these are 2 acupressure points specifically for grief that we hold in our chest area. These hurt often, but the more you work these points, they become less painful. And these can be very valuable at times of grieving. And then relax your hands. Another 2 points that can be very helpful are found on the inner and outer part, about 3 inches away from the wrist. These 2 points have the name the inner and outer gate, and they help to help the body have a whole sense of well-being. So finding the points, usually they're below your wristband of your watch, or if you wear a bracelet, and you're holding gently on both sides between the arm bones. Again, closing your eyes and breathing deeply as you hold these points. And just in the midst of grief and sadness and numbness, feel that sense of well-being coming into all of your body, especially into your heart, chest area. And then gently release. Another point in the hand that's very helpful to calm and self-soothe is found in the center of the palm of the hand. So with your thumb, just hold in the center of your palm. Let your hand relax onto your lap. Again, closing your eyes, breathing deeply, and just feel a deep sense of peace and calm coming into your mind, your heart, your spirit. And at times of grief, when we feel ungrounded, just holding the center of the palm of your hand is a way to connect with love and self-care, as well as deep peace and well-being in the midst of all the sadness. Often with grief, we feel out of control and just unable to manage our whole body, our whole spirit. So to manage those feelings, placing your finger under your nose, closing your eyes, and breathing deeply. This particular point connects the ascending and descending channels of energy, and it's a very good crisis point for strong emotions, as well as calming ourselves when we feel out of control. So these are just a few of the Capacitar acupressure points that can be of great help at time of grief and feelings of overwhelm. May these be helpful for you at this time of challenge.